Hey guys, what's up? So we're back with Combat Saturday. So what I want to talk about today is bare knuckle punching. What's involved in how to do it, number one, and some training exercises that you can do to assist. Okay, last week we covered elbow strikes and palm strikes, and I mentioned that if your knuckles are not conditioned, you better not do it bare knuckle in a self-defense situation because you're going to get injured. Okay, but let's talk about getting your body ready so that you won't get injured. Okay, so first of all, as far as landing surface and positioning, let's cover that first. Okay, there's a lot of debate about that. Some people will tell you to hit with the two big knuckles, others will tell you to hit with the bottom three knuckles, whatever. Typically people who punch with a vertical fist, like in Wing Chun we do that, will tell you to hit with the bottom three knuckles, and the people who turn it over will tell you to hit with these two big knuckles. Okay, my thoughts on it are that regardless of which angle you use, you should always try to focus on the two bigger ones here, or perhaps the middle one and the ring finger. But under no circumstance should you ever try to hit with the pinky. Okay, this is the smallest knuckle in your hand, and I will also point out the location of the boxer's fracture. Okay, and it happens a lot in street fights. Okay, and in fact, it even happened to my nephew. He broke his pinky here, and it got pushed back, and he had to get surgery to fix it. So that's not something you want to deal with. Okay, believe me, hit with these knuckles. Okay, now how that's done, and if you look at the hand here, if you just hold your hands naturally here, and I open my fingers, I'm actually going to be pointing up a little bit, but if I point at the target, see, this will facilitate the landing of these two knuckles and put your hands into a better position. Okay, so for training, what you want to do, and this looks really funny, but what you want to do is you want to practice your punching, whether it's vertical or horizontal fist. You want to practice your punching by poking your fingers into the target there. Okay, and I know it looks really funny, but this will ensure the proper landing, and that way, now this is with the Wing Chun way of punching, which is a very unique way how we punch over one another, right? But doing it this way, with that positioning, with the hand bent a little bit, will help you not hit yourself. Because sometimes if your hand's up like this, you could actually catch your own arms when you do it, and that really sucks. Okay, so and of course the same thing if you turn it over. Okay, and as you turn it over, remember too, when you turn it over, the elbow stays down regardless of whether it's vertical or not. The elbow stays down until the last second, and it turns over. Okay, because you don't want to have this kind of thing where your elbow's coming out right away, because then you're not getting your body into it. You're losing the power. Okay, and that brings me to the next point. We have, and now we're getting, so that's the technique of how to do it. Okay, so really work on that. Okay, practice with the fingers, get the right positioning, then bring your finger in, and then actually hit. Okay, make contact with the heavy bags or whatever, and but start slowly. Okay, and now we're going to do the isometric holds. Take some kind of immovable object, a wall, or in this case I've got Mac here, Mac Jr. Okay, and you just want to, so I'm going to use the vertical fist first, and you just want to push on it. Okay, make sure your knuckles are in contact and push on it, and give it a bit of juice. Okay, and you want to feel that energy going through your arm and into your leg. Okay, if you feel it all in your shoulder, I'm going to do it wrong here, but if you feel it in your shoulder, then you know you're not actually doing it properly. Okay, you're not using your body, it's just your arm and shoulder. You want to use it properly, you have to feel it throughout your whole body. Okay, now we call this a power line. In Wing Chun, we say like sink, press, rise, called power line. So it goes right from you can't see my leg here, but my leg is bent here, and it comes up at an angle like this right towards my hand, my fist. Okay, it's a power line. And same thing, if I turn it horizontal, it'll be the same thing. Again, I want to feel it in that power line. Okay, see, that's the thing. You want to really feel what it's like to have, some kind of force, some power coming in there. Okay, if you just do arm punching, you're not going to know what it's like to actually make impact with something. All right, and we also use bags and things, But start with this first, okay, to really get a feel for it, okay? All right? And you can, the time can vary. Start with 20, 30 seconds, whatever that, if you can go to a minute, that's really good. Each position, each hand, okay? Now we have a few other things here, strengthening moves. All right. Now, knuckle push-ups are also very valuable. I'm not going to bother demonstrating it now, but just quickly though, do it in both positions. The horizontal, big two knuckles here, and the vertical, okay? And with the vertical, you might find that the surface area might shift towards the middle and the ring finger. You might have that happening, and that's okay, all right? In fact, in some styles of Chinese martial arts, like Xingyi Chuan, they teach you to hit with those two knuckles, okay? The key, and I keep on saying this, but remember, never, ever hit with the pinky knuckle here, okay? That's a bad mistake. The chance of you breaking that knuckle is really, really high, okay? That's why it's the botched fracture, all right? Now, we have another, shoot, all my stuff here. Okay, so we have this other exercise here. Now, this is the sandbag catch. This is not to train necessarily the actual impact, but it's to train the closing of the fist. Closing of the fist, okay? Because in self-defense situations, it's best to have your hands open. Hold on. It's best to have your hands open for the whole time, for the most part, because this way you might grab, you can hit, right? You have options. If it's in the fist, all you can do is punch, which can be good. But in a street situation, you want to have options to be able to grab. You might, do a bit of grappling. You might do palm strikes. You might do elbows. There's a lot of other things you can do. So have them open, and so you can punch or do other things. Okay, and so your hands are open. It actually clenches upon impact, right? It's not clenched here, but upon impact, it clenches. Okay. So this, just throw it up and catch it. Very simple, okay? This is this rice bag here. I got by a company called Iron Towel. You can just make your own, doesn't matter. Here. So you can do this and just grab it. You can even do different angles, right? There's an uppercut, there's a hook, there's a straight, right? Just mess around with it, okay? Then we have this, hold on. Now this is a bean bag. It's filled with mung beans here. All right, and this is to work on the penetrating power. If you have a Wing Chun wall bag, that's even better. Okay, I do have one over there actually, but if you don't have one, that's fine. You can just make like a mung bean bag here. Just get some mung beans at the grocery store, put in a Ziploc bag and tape it up. All right, and then just here, just see. So practice the vertical version and practice the horizontal version. To do both, but I'm not like hitting and then bringing it back. Like oftentimes if you're hitting a bag or in a real situation, the hand comes back as quickly as it went out. Okay, even quicker maybe. Okay, but here we're actually penetrating and we're leaving it there. Again, I want to make impact and I want to feel that I'm actually solid there. Remember, this is all getting used to dealing with the impact of actually hitting with your knuckles, okay? The only way you're going to get good at it is if you practice, and you have to know what it's like to hit, hard, solid things. If you want to actually be able to use this in a real situation, you have to hit things, all right? That's the only way it's going to happen, okay? There we go. So once again, so vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, okay? And the last point I want to make is there's so much debate. As far back as I can remember, people have always debated about should your fist be horizontal, should it be vertical, should it be 45 degrees, whatever. Okay, and the fact is that it actually should be all of them, but it depends on the situation, depends on your positioning, depends on the target, on the height. Okay, there's so many different variables. Okay, so that's why mastery takes a long time, because you have to get good at all of them. Okay. In Wing Chun, it's quite common to hear people say that there is no horizontal fist, but you'd be wrong, okay? It is in there. Whether you know it or not, it is a part of it. You just have to, train it, okay? And so that's the thing. So depending on the angle, let me just go to Bob here. Hold on. Let me bring you over to see Bob. Our good friend Bob. There you go. There we go. Okay, so here's Bob. So now if I'm hitting him square in the nose, or the button here, right here, I'm probably going to use my default as a vertical fist. Okay, that's probably what I'm going to do. Not guaranteed, but not written in stone. I might do that, right? But I could also turn it. I could also come in, make contact, and then crank it, right? Right? Could do that too, okay? If I'm hitting to his cheek, to the side, I might do this. I might do this. I might do upwards like that, maybe. Right? If I'm hitting the body, then for sure I'm going to turn it. Okay? For sure, I'm going to turn it over. Okay? I might even turn it over so my pinky is high. See how my pinky is even higher. Okay. Now see, so fake. I've done it before. Fake. See? So the actual angle of your fist will vary depending on the height and the target. All right? There's even a kind of fist which people do called the ginger fist or panther fist, like that. So in a throw strike. But I'm not too crazy with that one because I don't know. Some people can train to do it, but it's just so easy for the fingers to buckle. I'd rather just try and get them on the side or whatever, whatever. But if you are going to hit that area of throw, you have to turn it over because if it's vertical, it won't fit in there. Right? You're going to get a chin, right? Horizontal and squeeze in there. Okay, so you have to use the fist that fits. Okay, depending on what target you're hitting, depending on the angle, use a fist that fits. So it's silly to argue about what fist is better. You have to figure out what fist is better for a situation. Okay, and one last comment I'd like to make is don't put limitations on yourself. Hold on. Yeah, don't put limitations on yourself. Okay, a lot of people will say, we don't do that in our style. Okay, that's not the way we do things, whatever. Okay, well, I mean, you're free to do anything you want to. And ultimately, the needs of the individual, the personality of the individual is more important than any set system, okay? I mean, I kind of think in my mind that every accomplished martial artist has created their own martial art. I mean, I basically have, and I'm still, it's a work in progress, of course, because I'm always learning, but just don't have any limitations on yourself. Don't tell yourself that, because so-and-so said this, and you can't do it, or no. You have to find what makes sense for you, okay? Some things even make sense for your body type and not for someone else, okay? You have to figure out your truth, okay? So I just want to end this thing because it's so important. I see it all the time, and people they feel so confined because they're not able to break out of their system. You can do anything you want to, okay? So anyways, just want to close off by saying that. Okay, so once again, we remember when you punch, practice this finger poking the eye thing, okay? Okay, so make sure you hit with those two big knuckles, or maybe the ring finger, never this one, okay? We have the grasping, we have the striking the bags here, okay? And we have also the push-ups. I didn't demonstrate it, but just remember to do push-ups this way and then this way too, okay? So, anyways, I hope this helps. I will so I'll talk to you guys soon. And remember, tomorrow evening I have my webinar on the Facebook. Actually, it's on Zoom, but the event is on Facebook. I'll have a link below, okay? And I'm going to talk about how to beat the COVID-15, okay? All the 15 pounds gained from the quarantine and things which people talk about, okay? So I'll go over, that's tomorrow night at 7:30. I'll have a link below. And for more information about any of this stuff or fitness in general, please visit my website, www.chriswongfitness.com, okay? See you soon.